My next guest is sounding the alarm, warning that Cuba could very soon literally become a launching pad for North Korean or even Iranian nukes, a modern-day Cuban Missile Crisis. Well, Bob Dornan is the guy saying it. He's a former Republican congressman from California. Bob, could it be that bad?
Well, Neal, I think it's our worst nightmare ever. Castro used to have these big conferences with the third world nations there, all of them expressing hatred for America. Finally, Jeane Kirkpatrick up at the UN said, you know, we're taking a list of all the names of these people who go to this and see who gets money from us. I would like to see a modern list of the 40 that are down there now, how many of them get U.S. aid or U.S. trade benefits. But here's the nightmare. When they all say we are with you, to Ahmadinejad getting nuclear weapons, that means every one of those 40 nations, if they could get into the AQ-Con list of nuclear technique, how to build a bomb, they would all want the bomb, and that has been the nightmare since World War II ended. Small nations run by crazed despots getting hold of weapons of mass destruction.
All right, well, they're all gathered together in Havana. What do? Just let them party?
Well, if you notice that picture of Bush as a vampire, the title next to it was El Asesino, the assassin. Who are they claiming he's assassinating? The 50 million people we liberated in Iran and Iraq? The hatred being spread down there. The Hitler stuff, I guess they picked up from radical leftists on MoveOn.org and all that extremist talk on the Democrat fringe. But this is really a sorry scene that our intelligence people will have to track every one of the prime ministers and presidents who showed up for these group photos. Talk about the axis of evil. It's not 3 any longer, I guess. Well, 1 is in flux in Iraq. I guess it's 40 now that we have to worry about as part of an axis of evil, spewing Hitler hate, which is ironic, dictators like Hugo Chavez and Castro's brother talking about another dictator.
Well, the talk is cheap. What worries me, Bob, is if they do what we saw in the early 60s that John Kennedy had to deal with, they start putting weapons on Cuba again. How likely is that given this powwow right now?
Well, I still don't think the Russian threat is over because they've still got more nuclear weapons times 20 than all the rest of the world put together, except for our allies, France, U.S., Israel, and ourselves. But there were Russian submarines with nuclear-tipped torpedoes with authority in the sub-commander. All that's come out from Robert Strange McNamara and all the recent writings. He even went down there for a conference. Last night on one of the competitor talk shows, here's Sean Penn saying he met with Castro for an hour and a half and tried to tell us his good side. This is a nightmare that's been left over from Bobby and Jack Kennedy mishandling this and not getting rid of that dictator when we had the chance.
By the way, you shouldn't be watching competitive talk shows, but that's a whole other...
I was surfing accidentally.
Bob Dornan.